Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, you know that United Nations is a body that is supposed to be impartial, especially the United Nations General Secretary. He has to be impartial. He can't be someone's little bitch over there. Well, unfortunately, Guterres is someone's little female dog. Let's use an euphemism, and we know whose female dog he is. This article that I have here has to do with the Iranian drones allegedly used by Russia in Ukraine. Russia and Iran deny that they use Iranian drones. The United States says no, they do. Ukrainians, yes, they do. They started sanctioning Iran, the European Union, some countries in the European Union by themselves, the United States, they all started the frenzy of doing something to Iran because Iran is well past due being invaded by the Americans at the behest of order of a little country in the Middle East called Israel. Now, this is a little debate at the United Nations where you have the Russian representative over there saying this. So the Russian ambassador to the United Nations. This article comes from Al-Mayedin in English, but you can find this in, I found it in Sputnik, I found it in other media outlets, not in the American yet, because it's just happening right now, so this must have been the first ones. So this is the article, and it's from today, the 21st of October 2022. The title reads, UN has no mandate to probe alleged use of Iran drones, Russia says. Now, to be honest, obviously, when a police officer stops you, I give you this example always when I have to make this point. When a police officer stops you for, I don't know, speeding up or whatever they stop you for, and sometimes they ask you, hey, do I have your permission, or can I check your car, inspect your car? You have the right to say no. Now he may say yes, no, whatever. But the next question would say, if you say no, why? You have anything to hide? This is the thing. Why would you say no? And your answer would be, no, that's that's my personal desire, and I don't want you to do that for my own protection, and don't have to give him a reason anyway. Keep your mouth shut and say no, I don't want to talk, I don't answer questions, and that's it. But that's another thing. Here we have this article where gets me back to that investigation of the Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines, the sabotaged pipelines, and they're investigated by the Danish police, German police, and I think Swedish police, and they do not let the Russians come and observe the investigation. That's again the same thing. Do you have anything to hide? I think they do. So the same here. Russians, why should they not investigate? Now, whose job would that be? Probably that's a certain body and all that, and the Russians, you're gonna see, they make the claim that some countries try to impose that on the United Nations, which doesn't have the mandate to do this. Unless it has the mandate, until then, bye-bye. So what the Russians are afraid that the United Nations would be used by United States to do their dirty job in a legal, impartial, supposedly, way, which the Russians don't believe in. They don't believe in the impartiality of United Nations. So Russia's ambassador to the UN expresses Moscow's concerns regarding attempts of certain states to instruct the UN Secretariat to investigate Russia's alleged use of Iranian drones. Russia's ambassador to the United Nations, Vasily Nebenzia, told UN Chief Antonio Guterres on Friday that the UN Secretariat, not the horse, has no mandate to investigate Russia's alleged use of Iranian drones in the Ukrainian war. And I'm quoting, "We would like to express our most serious concerns regarding the attempts of certain member states to give instructions to the UN Secretariat in violation of Article 100 of the United Nations Charter, as manifested in the letter from the permanent representatives of France, Germany and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland to the United Nations dated October 21st, 2022, as well as the statements of some Secretariat officials about their intention to accept these instructions. Nebedzia's letter read. It also pointed out that no mandate has ever been given to the UN Secretariat by the Security Council for any investigation in the context of United Nations Security Council Resolution 2231 on the Iran nuclear issue. Russia expects UN will not probe allegations of Iranian drones in Ukraine. So, it says here that the Russian ambassador to the United Nations, Vasily Nebenzia, also said on Friday that Russia is awaiting confirmation from the UN Secretariat that it will not launch an investigation into allegations that Iranian drones are being used in Ukraine. So, I'm quoting, we expect that the Secretariat will provide us with its definitive confirmation that they do not intend to follow the instructions of Western countries in violation of the Charter and will not conduct an investigation, end quote, Nebenzia said. And I'm quoting, if, now this is the most important thing, if experts of the UN nonetheless start conducting a pseudo-investigation baselessly referring to Resolution 2231, we can consider the entire package of our relationship with the UN Secretariat, because in this case it will not be possible to call it impartial, he added. That means we're going to take our little toys and say, fuck off, we're leaving, bye-bye. So, I'm telling you, these guys, the Zimbabwe, started a little scuffle that would end up in two big clubs. And not only in big clubs within the umbrella or under the umbrella of the United Nations, but outside of it. United Nations will be broken or not broken, will be, have a certain kind of members, and there will be another United Nations number 2 that will have, or number perfect or golden or whatever their names are gonna put on this little new United Nations, and that would be with different Security Council, different structure, and you have two United Nations, so-called, and countries can pick and choose which one will think that treats them better, and their interests are taken into consideration in a more fair way, or in a fair way. And I think they will pick left and right. Then you're gonna have United States' United Nation, and you would have the rest of the world United Nations. It's not going to be Russia or China, because if they will open it as Russia and China, they would be no different than United States. They want to make sure that we're fair, not like these guys where you have a boss and everybody else is just a bottom feeder and listen to the boss's agenda and says yes sir. That's the thing that's gonna bring them in. Like, no, we're not gonna be treating you like third class countries on this planet. We will all be having one vote, and not some we're all equal, but some of us are more equal than the others. So yeah, I think it's gonna push this way. It's gonna be a tectonic shift in the international arena regarding alliances, and as I said, probably the second club is already forming right now, with Russia, China, India, on the foundation of BRICS countries, and not only. And a lot of countries, they were by these guys, Zimbabwe, from across the in between Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. A lot of people, a lot of countries will move to the other ones because they were too many times by these guys, and say, well, this big bully will gonna give us protection against the other big bully. I'm just making it easy, so we don't have any doubts who's who and what's what. I'm not saying that Russia is a bully, but it tries to win countries through, should I put it, more fairer approach with investments and equal a little bit than the other guys who, if you don't do their bidding, they will blackmail threats or a regime change. That's how these guys operate. We all know that. And countries are scared of this, drunk guy with a shotgun in the parking lot. Everybody runs away from this guy. So wants to go to be protected by this guy who doesn't. He has a shotgun, but he doesn't seem drunk yet. He gave all the vodka to the other one. Well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.